trails. Wasabi Boy from that inside post out for the early lead. With Gotta Like Him now moving up to challenge. The big favorite Forte sits behind in third. Then comes Vamonos in fourth, and it's 4 lengths back to the trailer. Please Baby. Wasabi Boy on the inside and Gotta Like Him on the outside. It is Wasabi Boy by a head. Gotta Like Him on the outside is second. It's 2.5 lengths to Forte in third. The quarter went in 22 and 2/5 seconds. Wasabi Boy holding on to the lead. Forte now making a move on the outside of Gotta Like Him. And the three of them hit the top of the stretch together. Wasabi Boy, here is Forte. Forte to the front. Wasabi Boy now back running in second. And then Gotta Like Him in third. It is Forte, who now has a 4-length lead as they come down for the finish. And it will be Forte, who delivers first time out under Erod Ortiz Jr. Wasabi Boy was second. Vamonos finished third. And they're off. Andiamo a Forense and Great Navigator down at the rail. In between horses, Curly Jack is right there, and moving up is Morale. Here's Great Navigator looking for a way through his Major Dude. The half went in 45 and 4. Here is Mo Strike. Here is Andiamo a Forense. Andiamo a Forense and Mo Strike. They are right together. Then Great Navigator and Curly Jack. They're coming on for the finish in the Sanford Stakes. And it's going to be Mo Strike to win it here by 3 lengths. Great Navigator got up for second. Andiamo a Forense finished third. The time was 1:11 and 1. And they're off. In the hopeful. Mo Strike away well, and Gulfport is right there. Gulfport takes a narrow lead. Mo Strike is on the outside and racing in second. And then down at the rail it is Weston Ghent next in third, followed by Bourbon Bash in fourth. Forte is in fifth. The trailer is Blazing Sevens in sixth. Race up the backstretch, it's the favorite Gulfport who has the lead here. Gulfport is in front by a half length. Weston Ghent has come on through now to grab second through a quarter in the slop at 22 and 3/5 seconds. Mo Strike just behind the front runners in third. Bourbon Bash is on the outside. And it is Gulfport, the one to catch, ran the half mile in 45 and 2. And now Bourbon Bash begins to pick it up on the outside, and Forte has now moved into third. But it is Gulfport, the one to catch, with a quarter of a mile to the finish. Gulfport in front, Bourbon Bash, Gulfport going wide there. Forte is coming through now on the inside, and there's 3/16 to the finish. It is Gulfport and Forte, and the two of them are right together. It is Forte to grab the lead now from Gulfport. It is Forte in front. Forte on to victory here in the slop, under the rain, in the Grade 1 hopeful. Forte won by 3. Gulfport was second, and a big break. Back to Blazing Sevens and Mo Strike.
And they're off in the Claiborne Breeders' Futurity. There goes Newgate. Newgate comes right out for the lead. Bourbon Bash has early speed. Loggins is there. Here's Good Heart up on the outside. And these four come forward to vie for the early lead as they head to the first turn. Carmel Road going to move up in the center of the track in fifth, and now starts picking off a few positions from there. Frosted Departure is in sixth as Good Heart drops back alongside of that one. Forte is in eighth spot down toward the rail heading off the first turn. Two Fills is in ninth. Fantastic Again comes next, and then Instant Coffee, Red Route 1, Powerful Lost Ark. Honed is at the back after an opening quarter goes on the board in 22.94 seconds. On to the backstretch, still bunching for the lead. Bourbon Bash ahead in front. Loggins is there toward the inside. Newgate travels out in the center of the track in third, a half length off the lead. Frosted Departure is in fourth. Carmel Road is backed off a bit into the fifth position, settles down there. A lane or two off the rail, running some 5 lengths from the front. Then Good Heart. Forte down toward the inside is 7 lengths from the lead. First half mile went in 46.36 seconds. Over to the far turn. Loggins is the leader against the rail, has the lead a half length. Bourbon Bash is second by a length, just over a quarter mile to go. Newgate third. Frosted Departure is fourth. Here's Forte. Now Forte is going to have to swing toward the outside from the fifth position. Picks up a couple of spots. Has to go wider still to the top of the short stretch. Here's Forte coming after Loggins. Newgate is now third. They turn for home in the Claiborne Breeders' Futurity. Forte striding forward to challenge Loggins into the final furlong, and Forte is up to take the lead. Loggins is fighting on toward the inside, but second. Forte leads at a half length. Loggins is still there toward the inside. Look at these two juveniles going at it. Loggins and Forte, Forte and Loggins, and it is Forte in the Claiborne Breeders' Futurity for Iran Ortiz Jr. What a stretch battle.
They're off in the FanDuel Breeders' Cup Juvenile. And it's on the inside, Hurricane J, who will take it to Cave Rock early on. The two of them go full tilt to that first turn. They're moving right along in the early stages here. Break of another 2 lengths more, and Forte saves ground on the inside of Curly Jack. National Treasure is 5th on the outside. Verifying has the rail that wound up. Blazing Sevens is 8 lengths off the lead as Cave Rock begins to take over onto the backstretch. At the back of the field are Lost Ark and Congruent. At first quarter mile, 22.9 seconds, and Cave Rock sticks his neck in front of the backstretch. Hurricane J tries to stick with him early, second by a length and a half. And then comes Curly Jack running along in third. National Treasure is 4th on the outside, 2 lengths off of his stablemate, and 3 deep up the backstretch, past a 47.01 half mile. And then it's Forte together with Verifying, 3 lengths ahead of Congruent and Blazing Sevens. Lost Ark is second last, wound up is the trailer. Cave Rock is the leader. As the field makes their way for the far turn, he's a length and a half in front. And his stablemate is second now. National Treasure is second on the outside of Hurricane J. And then it's Curly Jack. Forte has come under a ride now. He's 5 lengths off the lead, being asked for more run, but he is picking up his stride, and he's going 3 wide, and he's coming up on the outside of National Treasure, and he's coming up after Cave Rock as they turn for home. Cave Rock cuts the corner. Forte on the outside. National Treasure between them. Verifying is next. Cave Rock is taken on here by Forte. The two of them coming down to the wire. Forte on the outside. Cave Rock along the rail. And Forte has upset Cave Rock to win the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Then it was National Treasure and Verifying. Forte and Iran Ortiz have done it in the Juvenile.
The call of the Fountain of Youth.
They're off in the Fountain of Youth Stakes. Forte was away cleanly enough, but Cyclone Mischief was first to begin, and he's ridden for the early lead. Up on the outside, Dangerous Ride has the same idea, so the outside 2 horses cross over and lead the way. Legacy Isle, meanwhile, angles off the inside, and Forte slides through at his inside. Rocket 10 is next, and Mage is wide on the course. Il Baracolo is headstrong while third last. Second last, Blazing Sevens. The early trailer is Shadow Dragon. They make their way by an opening quarter, 24 seconds flat. Cyclone Mischief has the lead, and he has the rail. He leads by a length. Over long shot, racing second is Dangerous Ride. Out deep on the course in Mage, 3 wide Rocket 10. Perfectly spotted early is Forte. The Breeders' Cup champion is only 3 lengths off the lead with Legacy Isle on his outside. These top flight horses have gone 5 ahead of Shadow Dragon, then Blazing Sevens, and Il Maracolo. Half a mile to go. They go to the first finish line in the 2023 Fountain of Youth Stakes. They went 47.3 for a half mile. Cyclone Mischief, he's been in front from the outset, and he still has the lead. Rocket 10 starts to make a bid second. 3 wide, Mage is third. Iran Ortiz Jr. has strong hold of Forte. He looks ready to roll, just needs some open racetrack. Dangerous Ride calls it an afternoon, then Legacy Isle as they run to the top of the stretch. Iran decides to swing out, and Forte is on the go now. Cyclone Mischief fights to hold it. From between horses, it's Rocket 10. Mage is 3 wide, but a big presence 4 wide in the form of Forte. 4 across the course as they straighten for home. Out in the center, Forte tries to overhaul Cyclone Mischief, who's very game, but Forte's very good. As a 3-year-old, he debuts with an easy victory in the Fountain of Youth Stakes. Here's your 2-year-old champion. Here's Forte, geared down. Rocket Can second, Cyclone Mischief third, Mage ran well, he was fourth. Shadow Dragon to complete your high five in 143 flat. He's back. And they're off in the Curlin, Florida Derby. It was an excellent beginning for Forte. He'll be able to duck over some from his outside draw. Meanwhile, West Coast Cowboy firing through at the inside to take the early lead. Fort Bragg got over quickly, and he's on to take over now. Fort Bragg from the 10 post to the rail and on top a length and a half. Mr. Peaks is now second with West Coast Cowboy in third. Young Frau between horses. Mr. Ripple is next. Cyclone Mischief is stacked 4 wide, 5 wide, WNL. And that's a length and a half to Il Maricolo. Irad Ortiz Jr. and Forte. They're toward the back of the field while 3 wide. Shack Diesel is next, then Nautical Star. And Mage is last of all as they complete the opening quarter in 23-2. Down the backstretch they go. Jockey Joel Rosario and Fort Bragg on top by 2.5. Mr. Peaks is second. Mr. Ripple is third. West Coast Cowboy is down toward the inside. Working out in the center is Cyclone Mischief. Then it's Young Frau, Forte. Starting to get a bit closer now. He's about 6 lengths off the speed through a 46 3/2 mile. Strong fractions being put up by Fort Bragg. He heads into the far turn on top by 2. Mr. Peaks is second. Mr. Ripple is third. Up on the outside, it's Forte. He's starting to get to work now. He's about 8 lengths off this loose leader with 5/16 remaining. Fort Bragg tries to sneak away. He has the lead by 2.5. Mr. Ripple, he's now second. Cyclone Mischief moves up on the outside third. Forte's locked in as Mage begins to roll from the back. They race past the quarter-mile pole in the Florida Derby, and Mage got the jump on Forte as he goes to get Fort Bragg. Cyclone Mischief is fighting hard. He's still right there. Less than a quarter of a mile to come, and Cyclone Mischief, he's up for a fight and tries to turn away Mage. Forte better hurry up. Final 16th of a mile. Forte starts to gather in the top horses. Here comes Forte. This is going to be very close, but the champion prevails. Forte wins over Mage. Mage was second. Third, Cyclone Mischief. Then Mr. Ripple, Fort Bragg for the high 5. He gave you a scare, but he got it done. On to Louisville for Forte.
Well, it goes without saying at this point, his Forte is winning, and he's done it again.
Well, those people that had him at 1-9 weren't too confident at the top of the stretch. Really good effort. I thought the trip into the first turn was okay. He was only 3 wide. Made his way up a little bit down the backside, but he looked empty. Mage ran right by Forte in the middle of the far turn and opened up a couple of lengths. But Forte, to his credit, Randy, he re-rallied, angled out in the clear, and finally wore him down. Portends very well for an extra eighth of a mile in the Kentucky Derby.
It does. You know, Irad Ortiz has talked about how this horse has sort of a newfound maturity, and he seems to understand what it's all about. I wouldn't have given you $1 for his chances going into the second turn. I mean, he was being ridden. He was going nowhere. Mage rolls by him. He has to swing extremely wide. Even here, you can't really say conclusively that he's going to run down Mage. But Forte, he's 2.5 lengths behind right there. But Forte just knows what it's all about. And, you know, Mage runs really well in defeat. And so does Cyclone Mischief to finish again third. But Forte at 1 to 5 odds delivers.
And it's interesting because Luis Saez is the new jockey on Mage. Javier Castellano rode him last time. I think if he times his run a little bit better, he's going to be a horse that is going to be formidable in the Kentucky Derby. He will be a player going 1.25 miles if his run is timed just right.
There's Mike Lupoli. 12 years ago, Ahmed, Mike Lupoli had a 2-year-old champion, a dominant 2-year-old champion named Uncle Mo, who came back as a 3-year-old, early Derby favorite. He won his first start impressively. He was 1 to 10 in the Wood Memorial, sort of like Forte today, except Uncle Mo finished third in that race. The wheels came off. He had to be scratched from the Kentucky Derby. I guarantee you Rapoli was thinking kind of about that in the back of his mind when he sees Forte struggling at one point during the running of this race.